Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Software Inc. Alpha 11 with me, cwattyeso, here at the helm and the reins of the Software Inc. company. Obviously we've still got all our buildings here, our offices. I have been having a few suggestions left for me on some of my videos by peoples, shall we say, who think the reason I have so many issues with people and the peasants not getting to their desk correctly is because we don't have enough door. Because I was doing the whole trying to limit burglars from breaking into me offices and stealing all my stuff all the time, because that mechanic is just flat out fucking stupid in the game. I'm going to say that now, and if the developer of Software Inc. is watching, yeah, your mechanic for this whole getting like robbed and burgled thing is just stupid. Needs a bit of refinement. It happens far too frequently, and I certainly think that when you've got, I don't know, an office building with, 500, people working in it, that burglars should just be able to walk in broad daylight, past your security cards, past your receptionist, past all your employees, and steal all your stuff. I'm sorry, that just doesn't sound right to me in the slightest that would be an actual thing in the game. I could be wrong. Very rarely am I though. What I say is usually quite sensible as far as being able to improve things. Right, down here we've got an issue, because then how do we get more people into this building? Besides whacking in a door behind that person's seat there, obviously the obvious thing to do is maybe delete the door. I know that people say, oh my god, you've deleted the door, and then we run into a problem, because this is the problem I've got. Because I built this building, I can't really get another yeah, that's not going to work for me. I can't put another door into this building. Unless I have doors going in through these side bits, which is a bit pointless. The alternative, and obviously I don't really want to put doors on the back of this building, but we may have to. But anyway, let's go back to the game, because we're currently working on our first 3D editor, our first 3D tool. We've got tycoon, which is in development, which is going to be an operating system, a new operating system. Picture Desk, which is in beta, needs to release July 1985, which is a new 2D editor. So that's potentially going to be good. That could bring us big money. Are we... Picture Desk 2 is currently being printed. course, we're already coming out with Next OS 5 this year, which is oh god, look at all these people. They're so late getting to work every day. You were supposed to have been here fucking over an hour ago. You should be in work at your desk ready to go when the buzzer goes at 9 o'clock. It's 10 AM and you're still strolling in. I don't know how else to the only other thing I could do, much like I did on, you know, on my other building, this could be either a massive success or it could be a whopping great huge fail. And I reset the grid back to default. Yeah. Let's get this. Why can't I put that there? Do I need a path? It's going to tell me it can't build what I want it to build. I'll do one from here. I don't know how I've done it then, because over on this building, maybe it's because they were closer and there's no path underneath. That's probably why I was able to build like footpaths from the car park straight into the building to enable people to get to their offices a bit faster. We probably should do a press release for that. Help get that out the door. Like I say, December 1985 we're going to be releasing our next operating system. They are currently developing 2 products, which is what? The Bug Zapper and the Terminator Woke Edition. We shouldn't really call it that, should we? Or was it? What was it? What was the actual last Terminator film? Was it Dark Fate or something like that? It was called, wasn't it? I haven't seen it because it was shit, but. Apparently that's, you know, was the thing, and they brought back Linda Hamilton from the original the first 2 films, and you know they obviously had Arnold back playing the Terminator because, you know, that's the only flipping role he can play because he's so wooden and robotic anyway. It makes sense that he would play a killer robot. But yeah, then they went all flipping, you know, Hollywood tried to get all politically correct and all that sort of stuff by having all like the all-female characters and supporting cast and the women saving the day and saving the world, and it just didn't work, did it? Nobody bought into that for a second. Nobody was like, yeah, that's believable. So nobody watched that movie. Nobody watched it. It was an absolute fail. Development on graphics edit is underway and it's cutting edge. The press release is some cool video and it sounds great. It's slated to release in April 1986. So we've got a whopping 40 followers of our fantastic, wonderful, amazing program. Obviously, the next OS 3 is going to be huge. I don't know if that one supports 3D or not. I can't remember what technology that actually has in it, because that was being done by these guys, the OS automation team, but I spun it out, I think, to get it released a bit faster, because otherwise they were sitting on it till like, they're going to sit on it till like 1991, and I was like, no, you don't need to wait till 1991, bang it out now, and then we can work on this bad boy over here, which has got 3D and stuff in it. I don't think this one has it? I don't think there's any way to check. But this one has network and 3D, which are obviously the two latest technologies that unlocked at the beginning of 1985, and nobody else has started on those yet. None of the other none of the other software companies are doing. I don't think they are. No, yeah, nobody's doing a 3D editor yet, and I don't think any of the computer operating system companies. Piper, they're new. They're one of the new companies that appeared last year in game. I don't think they will be using any 3D or network stuff based on the estimated release time for their products. Press view. Picture desk 2, right. All companies. So who have we got that are new? Microsoft are new. Don't have stocks in Microsoft. We'll offer a digital distribution deal. We'll offer them what? We'll offer them the maximum. They'll probably pay me 11.7. They're going to apparently do audio tools, 2D and 3D editors. Right, you would have thought they'd have done operating systems, but yeah, hey ho. SCS software, they're not really doing much. And as I say, Pied Piper, they do computer operating systems. And of course, what's really scummy about them is the fact that they only came into existence in September, and straight away in October, 1 month later, they released an operating system that competes with me. And I don't know how a small company manages to do that. I really don't. And I can't just buy them and take over them and that, because they have to have existed for a full year before you can buy them out. So, gotta wait for that one. Gotta wait for that to take over the world. So we're waiting for July 85, so that's nearly ready to release. So we're going to be releasing 2 products this year. Obviously, we're going to be getting the Picture Desk 2 software out now, and then we'll have the operating system. The computer operating system will be out on the market as well for people. I know we haven't long released our last operating system, but we're trying to build up our reputation in that particular market. So next OS 2 was July 1981. So it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. You know, that's quite a while. So we are probably due another release. Obviously, we've got Terminator Woke Edition right there. So that came out in 82. If Terminator Woke Edition comes out when? May 1985, so that comes out in 2 months' time. That could be pretty good. They're probably developing that as we speak. Now, one thing I don't want to do, I do not want to make any kind of marketing announcements or press releases, or anything like that about Tiger OS, until obviously we've got this one out the door, because I don't want people to think, why do I buy this if this one's coming out and it's going to be better? You know, technically, obviously what we probably should have done was scrapped next OS 3 and gone and just focused on Tiger OS. However, the automation team, you don't have that option. You don't have a setting within the automation process, the project management, should I say, within project management, to have it so that if a new technology is released during a project cycle, that a leader might actually take the project back, might decide to scrap the project and start over to at least use some of the new tech. So everybody's running around quite happy. What I might need to do, just temporarily call a bunch of people to come in and fix some stuff. Because I notice everywhere's looking quite mucky. I know we have a lot of people wandering around, but I really would like to see the cleaners do a bit more, make a bit more of an effort. So are they working on that, or are they they're working pretty much mainly on that now, aren't they? How's the marketing doing? Are we hitting all our targets? Looks like it. Oh, we've also need to obviously quickly put the look at support. Problem with support is we're that big now, we have that many users of our products, that waiting for a product to have no users so you can stop supporting it without incurring any negative penalties is a bit harsh, I would say. Can we do a contract? Is there any contracts? Could do a logistics program. Got to be expected quality great. I don't really want to do anything like that. That's got to be outstanding. I guess we're not allowed to spend our time doing contracts on rubbish. Geralt's childhood surprise does not meet demand. Let's order some copies then. I know I could print them myself, but honestly, we're making that much money, does it really matter? How are we doing financials? Making a nice steady 30-40 million a month. It's just slightly on the decrease now in March. It'll go up quite a bit once we hit the big boy. Once we get a few releases out the door. We got, like I say, we've got antivirus coming out in May. We've got 2D editor in July. We've got an operating system in December. So we are absolutely hammering on the door now of these things. As far as insurances and savings account, obviously we've got quite a lot of money in our savings account. We're free to withdraw 133 million. Obviously we've had a few people die. We've had 2 people retire in our whole history of our company. Yet we've had 5 people die. I don't know what to say about that. You might have you know, the same sort of human ethics and quality and stuff of like Apple in their sweatshop in China. Did anybody watch the Golden Globes this year? The Golden Globes Awards and the whole Ricky Gervais thing? I found that to be so flipping hilarious because it was so true, everything he said. And the fact that all them Hollywood actors and actresses just sit there smiling and laughing. even though he's tearing them a new one. and publicly stating how freaking ridiculous they all are, and how they have literally no morals or scruples about anything. It's brilliant. Like the Apple, now Apple are making TV programs and getting into the whole, TV network thing, with their own streaming service to rival like Amazon and Netflix. And they did this program which focuses on, all these good things and trying to be good people and all this, which is so funny, like you say, when you think that Apple, they've made all their money from sweatshops in China, And I don't know whether you've seen that, the factory in China where all the Apple iPhones, iPads and stuff are made. But they literally have like suicide nets and stuff to try and prevent the employees from killing themselves because the conditions are that bad. You have like anti-suicide, so people can't jump off the building and kill themselves. and you think there's no way you'd get away with that in like, it's obviously if they had a building in America or here in Britain with those kind of conditions, they'd be shut down. So it's the last day of March, moving into April. Like I say, we've got an antivirus releasing in 85. We've just got to get on a bit. We've just got to crack forward the time, fast forward a little bit, move this on. I think as far as actual teams go now, everybody's working kind of okay. I've got teams spread out a bit. That's probably terrible for me. As far as, trying to get everybody... Again, I'm trying to make sure arrival and departure times are kind of staggered a little bit. Because, I don't want all my teams turning up and disappearing. At different times of the day. Market, we'll press build next OS 3. That should do us some good stuff. Everybody's stressed. Did I remember to order copies of Monopoly 2? I think I did. Yeah, we've got 282,000 in stock. That's alright, that's alright. We picked up Snakes and Ladders from a takeover of a company. I might be tempted to make a sequel to that, as that was bad. And, keep me board game reputation quite high. Apart from that, like I say, I really don't know what else to really do. I don't really want to expand too much more and put more buildings on this map, because like I say, we do have issues now with the performance of the game. The game's got a little bit too big. me building, I've got probably the core team is probably a little bit on the big side. Like I say, 421 employees. I probably should have had split that up into 4 separate teams, 4 separate, like I did over here. And I've got 2 teams in that building. I should have had a building with 2 teams, and just thinned everyone out a bit and had this as a big campus. I think that would have worked better. I don't know if I need to thingy-me-bobby that. Shall we get a bit of a peer review of graphics edit and see what that's actually doing for us. Whether we need to take it back to do a bit of iterating on it. I know we're up at 91% and 100% for the artwork and everything, but this is probably the last chance we get to have a bit of a redesign or a retweak before we actually go into the beta phase and start bug fixing for the next year before we release it. I was rather generous with that release date, wasn't I? April 1986. He was really quite generous on that front to allow a year, but I suppose because nobody else is making anything like that, it doesn't actually hurt us in that regard. Like I say, money wise we are slowly earning a little bit less and less each month, but that's going to get boosted because, like I say, we drop an antivirus in May, we drop the 2D editor in July, and then we drop an operating system at Christmas. Hallelujah. We'll probably have over $1 billion in the bank by then. Will I need to drop marketing for any of those? Probably next OS 2 I would drop marketing for at that point. I would think. Like I say, once we've got next OS 3 out, we can get, because I've currently got the automation team on like hold. I have. Oh, they need some more copies of Gerald's Child Surprise. Yeah, because that's all on pause at the minute. Because I don't want them to keep making sequels to next OS 3 if they're not going to actually add networking and things like that to it. I would much sooner get Tiger OS out the door and then do sequels on that as well, based on that. Like I say, when it comes to like the research and stuff, I think we got all the royalties. So we got technology, we've got 3D, we've got 2D. So anybody using this year's technology levels is going to be paying us a serious amount of royalties going forward. But besides that, I don't think there's really a lot. I mean, we've never made a console operating system. I don't really want to get into the realms of that. Office software, there's not really a lot. I kind of do miss having the different categories and options of tools. I know there's some mods that allow you to make a few extra bits and pieces. There's one I did try recently that came out on the Steam Workshop, but it's got a few bugs and issues in. And unfortunately, the guy who's made the mod, he missing it. Put it to, I suppose. I only really wanted it on my products. But yeah, going back to this mod, the mod that adds loads of other software types to the game. The guy that made it, he's had a bit of an issue where his Steam account got hacked, and he's currently in the process of obviously trying to regain access to his account, which means he can't actually post and update any updates to the mod and any fixes. So anybody using the, I think the Firestarter's software mod, you're going to have problems at the minute. It does have some issues. Just need to hang fire and be patient. The guy will try and update it as soon as he gets his access back to his account. but if you do currently try using it in game, you will have some problems. You will get some bugs and some serious errors. Like there will be some there's certain types of software. For example, I made a calculator application, like a calculator tool app. Spent several years designing it as the lone little bloke working in his garage. Released it after a couple of years when it was all perfect, and bought 75,000 copies because I expected it to sell well, because none of the other companies were making anything like that. There was no other calculators on the market. All that sort of good stuff. And unfortunately for me, the mod is broken in the fact that nobody buys the software. So after spending, like you say, 5 in-game years as a lone bloke working on it and releasing it and buying the copies, 6 months passed in-game where I got an error every single night at midnight, and never sold one single copy or got one active user, despite it being, you know, unavoidable marketed and all that good stuff. We had unavoidable marketing and all that jazz. Never got any any copies sold, so I reported that as like a bug. And then, like I say, the guy commented on one of my last videos that he'd run into a problem. Right, it's May. I'm actually going to release that by any chance. Here's a question. We'll see then. We'll see what happens. See if because that should be, because it's May 1985 now, unless they release it on the last day of the month, which I don't know if that's the actual plan. I don't know how it. I really don't. I've never really used. I'll be honest. The last time I played Software Inc., I think, which was Alpha 9. I didn't use any automation or anything. I've never really used the automation project management side of the game. And to be honest, I've never really understood it, and I don't know if it actually works as it should. There are a lot of things in this game that probably don't quite work as they should. Like, say, the burglars and office dangers mechanic, that definitely needs some fine-tuning, because, as I say, it's a bit rubbish else. So basically, Sound Tools 3 has been sold to absolutely everybody that could possibly ever buy it. Marketing for published premium. I'm not going to market stuff for rival companies and advertise their products. Fucking kind of stupid person do you think I am? If you just want me to print discs for you, which might sit on a warehouse shelf then and never ever get sold and see the light of day, I don't mind doing that for companies. I don't mind being paid to make CDs of software that will never ever be bought. That's not a problem. I can do that. Certainly, this is the time in the game at about 3 PM between 2 o'clock and probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when the game starts to get a little bit stuttery and a little bit slow, as you've got staff going home and staff arriving to work, and there's all these people walking from over there to here. Why is that? Surely their car park is plenty big enough for all the people who work over there that they do not need to park. Or why are the people who work over there parking over here, and why are the people working over here parking over there? Don't get that. I'd like to see a bit more ability to zone when you do your car parking, to zone it and say, look, it's this car park is reserved and specific for the employees that work in this area, to again try and help with pathfinding of people around the map. Company was mentioned in regards to a takeover. Infineon has been acquired, along with 4 original IPs. Who were Infineon? I don't know. That means there's probably a new company popped up. Colossal. Right, we'll buy all their stocks. We'll offer them a distribution deal right out the gate. What do Colossal make? That's fine. Office software. Okay, so we probably gained some. It was probably Office. Infineon were probably an office software company then, were they? Let's have a look. Yeah. Looks like it. Looks like they were an office software deal. Still not seeing antivirus auto. Yeah, I'm not seeing a release yet. Why am I not seeing that released? Unless, like I say, they only do it at the end of the month. Could well be they release it at the last day. Night shifting, of course. Doing some work. Gerald's Childers. Flipping out. That all bought loads. Yeah, that'll keep them quiet for a bit. Because you'll know when support goes well for some of this other stuff, because oh, Print Suite 6 might be the next one we get to drop support for, because that's only got 782 active million users, because everybody's moved over to the Office. So yeah, that could be good. So what I need to do, I need to set up an automated task for the Office software team to do sequels now to the Office fairly regularly, with all the new features, new technologies, new frameworks and everything, but only if they actually go ahead and release these 2 products. I'm keen to see what happens come the end of May. Development for document. No, thank you. Not going to do your design work for you and development work for you to then make a product that competes with me. Again, that's awfully stupid. Antivirus Woke Edition. Yay! Options, design. We will cancel that. I did another antivirus, didn't I? Can I filter that? Or did I not? Maybe I didn't. In which case, we'll do antivirus. I want one that's good. That one. And we'll cancel that. I want you to use frameworks, please. I don't want you to do a single IP. It's because of Bug Zapper. Bug Zapper was going to be the one, wasn't it? Ah, that was the thing, yeah. Bug Zapper. It'll definitely move copies, they say. Right, port. February 1985. Sloth OS 5. Got to midday. Game's locked up on me. Picking software that I know has got some users. Right, how are we doing marketing and stuff for this then? Probably should do. Marketing is unavoidable, yeah. Should be a few bugs fixed. And we're offering a bit of support for it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I don't see marketing in here. What's that for? Might be the older one. I just don't see a marketing job for it anywhere. Anyway, we'll turn support off. Right, they're working on Bug Zapper. Which comes out in November. Which they're currently working on. Monopoly 2 does not have enough copies, so we'll order some copies. If we got in stock, we've got nearly 1 million copies in stock, so we're not going to have to print any anytime soon. Just to know. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to end marketing for Sound Tools 3 because that's costing us money now. When did we release good old Sound Tools 3, by the way? No. 1982. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. We'll sell a few more copies of it, obviously once they've ported it, but we're not going to have as much to do with it following that. Let's go and have a look, a little bit up close and personal at some of these people. Here's the office. Here's the office building. Look, this is the turn the walls off. This is the view I like to see. So many objects though in these offices that's what also kills your frame rate in the game, kills the performance. That's why it warns you when you start cloning floors, cloning entire levels of buildings to stack them up. But my business reputation tanked because I got sued by an employee. An employee took me to court because he was stressed because his friend had died and he thought the toilets were atrocious. Which seems to be, again, a common thing I've noticed from reading on the Steam forums, that whenever an employee fires or quits, they sue you because the toilets are atrocious. Doesn't matter how much effort you put into making the toilets nice and how much decoration and stuff you put into your toilets. They always complain that your toilets are atrocious, and that's the reason for taking you to court and suing you. And this guy was trying to sue me for 64 million. Little did he know, I've got an expert team of legal beavers within my support team, marketing team, and stuff like that. So I challenged him. I challenged the lawsuit, and I won. So although I didn't have to pay him any money, that's what's resulted in my lovely 6-star rating taking a bit of a battering. Because even though I won and the case was dismissed, it's damaged my reputation. I don't think that's quite fair. I don't think you should lose reputation when you win a case. If you lose a case and you have been found guilty of doing something wrong, then yes, definitely. Your reputation should take a smashing and take a battering. But for what is effectively not doing anything wrong, because the guys, as I say, the judges were like, yeah, you're talking out your arse, mate. You can't sue the company because you're just feeling a little bit sad because somebody died. You know, that's your own issue. You've got to deal with it. And the toilets aren't atrocious at all. We've been and looked at them. They're actually quite state-of-the-art compared to some of the facilities in some places. So I really don't understand where you're getting this impression that you deserve 64 million from. So yeah, I'm glad that got thrown out of jail. I'm glad I didn't have to pay the guy 64 million pounds of my hard-earned money. I'm just keeping my eye on Terminator Woke Edition 2. Because I'm just concerned a little bit that maybe it's not being marketed by anyone. I like the fact he's now working on Anti-Sniffer Filter 2, which is now in the design phase, and that's due to come out in March 1987. But one of the things I'm thinking of doing is maybe just bringing the Terminator franchise to an end. That's why Bug Zapper's going to be key. Bug Zapper's going to be my big brand going forward, I think. Oh, of course, Sound Tools 3 can't be released yet. Because it needs next OS 3, which hasn't been released yet, has it? Ha! That's where they've got me. Well, anyway, it is currently day 4 of June. Our next big software release is going to be July with PictureDesk 2, our new 2D fantastic editor. So be sure to come and join me in the next episode of Software Inc. when we get that 2D editor out the door and start seeing how much money that brings us. Then we'll be steaming into December for the release of our next OS 3 operating system. And then we'll be having a look to see what 1986 brings us. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please be so kind as to click that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Feel free to drop a comment on the video, just to say hi, hello, something like that. Again, it all helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not doing so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny. And again, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. So, I've been cwattyeso. This has been Software Inc. Alpha 11. I will see you all again very soon. Goodbye for now.